Hey, so I just got finished reading this Punisher number 7, March 1987, I'm guessing. So probably March of 88. So since it's 3 months prior was its actual printing date. Nuclear terrorist over Times Square. This is number 7. I think this is volume 2. The information on the site, March 1988. Yeah, I thought, after September 11th, this would have something to do with it, but evidently not. So, this was way before that. And it's really interesting to read a story with a non-powered hero, and it feels more like I'm reading a G.I. Joe, like this is one of G.I. Joe's people, because what goes on in here, it just feels more like I'm reading G.I. Joe versus an actual, serious enemy instead of Cobra. This probably would be banned today because it's used the word Arab so many times. I'm sure that they would be flipping out over it. And the whole idea that the terrorists are, Islamists, and it's got a lot of puns in here, I guess, about the mountain, which we all know what that's from. And at the very end, he actually plays to the pun. But basically, he's talking to a guy right here. Now, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know a lot of these characters. This is my first Punisher comic I've read that's not in the future of 2099. Oh, the Sega Master System. I think I still have my Sega Master System games. I probably have just at least one of them. Probably two, a carded game and a cartridge game. So he's going back to his place because a little red light goes off in his van. Because, they don't have ring lights back then. They have, whatever magical stuff he's got. So as I approach the warehouse, a light appears on my dash. So it's like the A-Team van, sort of. The inevitable has occurred. Intruder. When he gets in there, he sees a person at his computer. Who are you? My name is Rose Kugel, Mossad. So I think Mossad's like the FBI of Israel is what I'm gathering. I've heard it before, but it's been one of those things that you only hear more recently. And she's gotten in there through a back door. She's like, don't worry, I'm not going to tell anybody, but your secret's safe with me, where his location is. But she's basically letting him know that they're planning on doing a terrorist thing. She plays a VCR tape for him. Let me give this information to you. Look, I took the liberty of bringing a video cassette to me. Now, Rose, have I ever denied you anything? He says that several times. I don't know if Frank Castle's... I don't know if there's an inside joke on there or what. We obtained this in a raid in Lebanon 1 week ago. To the garbage-eating dogs of the West, this is a revolutionary jihad. For too long has the world endured the usual rhetoric... oh, no, she's saying this. The usual rhetoric. Let me just skip ahead to the good part. We have brought the war to your homes, your cities, because your values are garbage. And we have reduced your greatest triumph, the symbol of your colonial brutality, of garbage. I'm beginning to have this weird feeling I'm listening to some of the political parties of our nation. Death to the enemies of Islam. Long live the revolutionary jihad. Might as well just say death to America. Anyway. That's the most worrisome. When he removes the turban, he is saying he intends to die. So, basically, he's not afraid to reveal himself, which is not a good thing. So, they go here about how could they get the nuclear device in here the same way I got into your warehouse. Now, does he have several different locations, or he has one warehouse, or does he have to go to this warehouse this month and a different one because he got compromised? I'm wondering how that works, because, again, this is the first time I read a Punisher comic. Or they may plan to use a car bomb or ram the barricades. This guy, I don't know what part he plays, but he's walking by. He's like, he smelled like a Star Trek fan. What is that supposed to mean? Star Trek fans are not smelly. He said he's not a Fed. She says maybe he's a Fed. He's like, no, he smells like a Star Trek fan. Feds wash. Okay, I don't know what that's about. As far as I've known, Star Trek fans are the cleanest. Anyway, he says, keep your hands in your pocket. The guy pulls for his gun. He pops him in the nose. The cops are, hey, and they run off because they're trying to figure out how are they going to get the plutonium, the nuclear radiation into the building to do terrorism. So she's working with him to go find out some more information from some other guys. Now, this is interesting because evidently they're definitely not Muslim because they're going to have pepperoni in their pizza. And like, yeah, okay, sure. So the Muslims will not eat pepperoni. They're just probably American cronies. And they give him a little bit more information. He's the enforcer. He's into heavy machinery. Heavy machinery. Sorry, a gnat just flew. Okay, gnat, go away. It's still summer here, so I don't know when this video is going to show, but it's still summer. It's every time I open that door, it's like I don't see bugs come in, but they come in. Yeah, he grokked out. Now, this is a word I didn't know, and I looked up and asked Siri, and it kept on saying I said locked out or something else. I'm like croaked out. I'm like grokked out. I'm like, forget it. Yeah, he grokked out on the garbage trucks and compressors. The only thing I can get from the context clue is that he bought a lot of those. Like he grokked out, like he maxed out. Maybe that's what it means. Now that word has come up recently to do with AI, so I don't know what that is either. So I was watching something and they were talking about grokking an AI, and I'm going, I know that's definitely not connected to that word, but that word came up again, and I'm like going, man, that word's coming up a lot lately. It's strange. So from the context clues, he grokked out on garbage trucks and compressors. Sounds like he's maxed out, like he bought a bunch of them. That's all I can get. You can feel free to let me know. Maybe that's a slang word in the cities. I don't live in a city. I live here in the South. So it may be a word that you guys have, like gum bands instead of rubber bands up in Pennsylvania, but I have no idea. All right, so she's talking about a boom crane. It's like, boom crane, what? The boom crane on top of the Gallagher Plaza. Ahmed is a boom crane operator. So they're going to he's going to use the boom crane to dump a bunch of plutonium on people, unsuspecting citizens, coming out of a theater. And that's horrifying. And so honk honk. So they try to get over the thing. All of a sudden they take a Nintendo break. No, they don't take a Nintendo break. It goes up on the sidewalk. Now, I've never been across some bridge they're talking about. I think this is in Philadelphia, by the way. How they went from New York to Philadelphia, because they talk about Philadelphia, I don't know. Or they're not that close together. So, yeah, I'm a little bit lost in all this. He says a lot of things about Rose in his head, too. Here's where he has to kill this guy. He says, Rose, what does it take her to scream? Ahmed the mountain starts talking to me. And then he's like, answer me, Musa. All right. He's trying to get him to throw his weapons overboard. He's going to send him out in the crane to make him watch. While he's out there, he realized that he took a knife. He's going to do something with that knife. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he's cutting the hydraulic thing. So he took a knife. He says, all right, so Ahmed forgot to take my knife. It's a custom from Pacific Cutlery. Is that like a placement ad? Guarantee is stronger than anything. What is he cutting? If he cuts the rope, it's just going to accelerate the destruction of people down below just a little bit early. They just come out and go into a big pool of it. Okay, gnat, fly away. And the boons start swinging. We're 1,000 feet above the pavement. Ugh, I'd be peeing on my pants, really. So 42nd Street, a theater of crowds spills out. And then he realizes, Ahmed realizes what he did. I guess he cut the power or something that would open the bucket. Here he comes. I don't know what to do next. While he's coming out, she reaches and grabs the gun and shoots. He turns. He picks her up. I'm pretty sure she's heterosexual, but he's going to throw her off the thing anyway. He throws her off of the crane. Woo, there she goes. He tackles Ahmed. Or I should say Punisher tackles Ahmed. I hate using too many pronouns. Like striking a mountain. But sometimes the mountain must go to Muhammad. So it's like, yeah, we know, I'll get the play on words. All right, so here's the ending. I later learned that Rose had invaded a National Crime Council to plant her credentials. Mossad had never heard of her. There was no record of her as an Israeli citizen. I am left with the garbage. All right, that's interesting. So Next issue is on sale January 26th. So it's a self-contained story. That's good. I love back in the days we had self-contained stories. Nowadays, it's like you have to read 5 issues to get one story. It was a good story. I have a lot of questions because I just don't know anything about. I know very little about him, let me put it that way. But I liked it. It was a fun read. It had a sad ending. Let's see. How many people died in this? Ahmed, that skinny dude, and her. So that's 3 people that died in this. I should keep like a death count every time I read one of these. Because I normally read comic books where you don't have people die in it. So what did you guys think of that one? I mean, pretty sure that they could not make something like this today because, oh no, we can't ever, play to what's reality. All right, so, 1988, we still had our anchors in reality at least. All right, so, guys, did you like this comic? Did you ever read it back in the day or more recently? Like I said, I'm just now getting into the Punisher. So let me know this is kind of the normal for him. It felt like I was reading like the A-Team mixed with G.I. Joe. That's what it felt more like. Kind of mixed with a little bit of Indiana Jones maybe, since he's a one-man team. And he got the lady, but the lady died like in almost every Indiana Jones movie. All right, well anyway, thanks for watching. And again, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. That's all. Thanks.